This is Paul. Now, there's what's known as the will. Yeah. In law, it's usually a written paper signed by the maker, yeah, which he tells what is to be done with his property after his death. The right to make a will is given by law. Yeah. I think that I need to have one of these. Yeah. Now, the maker or the testator must be of age and of sound mind. Yeah. There's been a question about the soundness of my mind. You know, I think I am of sound mind. So, I wasn't in Squim. Yeah. I didn't commit any domestic violence or child abuse. My sons were abducted and kidnapped from an international territory. Yeah. Now, the will, yeah, you know, there seemed to be this issue. Yeah. Now, it could be on Guam, the people that were helping us at Bayview Community Church. Yeah. Somebody had said that there was a will made where I had signed it without my knowledge that designated an uncle as being the executor of the estate. Phew. Heidi and myself didn't have a will. No, no, no. We never did. We never had a will during 10 years of marriage because we just didn't think we would die. Now, I'm going to need a state issued identification that doesn't have the wrong height and weight on it. Yes. That does have the last known address of my driver's license. Yeah. And then I'm going to need to know, did Uncle Wally or Uncle Wayne have a will that said that in the event that I was dead or I was, well, put into a mental institution, they would be given power of attorney over my sons? Now, the thought was that these wills, yes, yes, yes. Well, it's it's very it's very frustrating. Yeah. See, you want to say that I'm a homeless man that has no assets. Yes. You want to obstruct justice and you want to make sure that you don't get sued. Yep. And I've been documenting for 4 years lawsuits that are all valid. Now, today, Zachary is an adult. Yes. And he has the same rights as I do as an adult man. Yeah. And as he thinks about from July 2nd of 2011, yeah, until today, ouch, any knowledge of a falsified, fabricated will that would have given an uncle, yeah, power of attorney over my estate if I were to accidentally die, considering I died once. Do you remember that, dwarf? Ouch! I want to tell you a story. Yes. Of how I was at Olympic Medical Center and I had a very serious bronchial infection, and you decided to touch me when you kicked me out of the hospital. Ooh. Approximately 3 days later, my lungs stopped. No, it's true. If there hadn't been an individual in the homeless shelter that was going to get me going again, I would have died. Yeah. And all of my inheritance and any intellectual property and anything of value would have been in the hands. Yes. Was it Uncle Wally or Uncle Wayne right now? And we're going to need to know. Because I thought that those that had the edge on Guam, they had me sign this document that there was a letter from the mayor of Dedado. Yeah. That allowed for us to be eligible for the housing, the homeless prevention and relocation program. Yeah. But I thought somebody had falsified an actual will where my signature was on. Well, Zachary might know something. He's an adult now. Now, as the executor of my estate, yeah, well, here's what I wanted to do. Yes, I wanted to adopt Marilyn and give her my last name. And I kind of did some research about adopting adults, yes, that are not mentally incompetent. Yeah. And then I thought that instead of marrying, I would give her, yes, the authority over any of the assets at the time of my death. Yes. Now, as things stand, yes, Zachary would actually have the authority over any and all assets. Yes. And as the adult firstborn son, pooch, I would say that would invalidate any will of the United States. Now, I'm going to need some attorneys on this one, Sheriff. Ouch! Because I find that my sons have any knowledge of a will. Yes. That no one asking me, yes, who did you want to give power of attorney? It could be, yeah, that there's an additional crime here that we were not aware of, though I might have mentioned it. Yes. why don't you get me? Yeah. Well, Sheriff, yeah. Zachary's an adult now. Yeah. And until I'm able to talk to him, he has full power as the executor of the estate of Paul C. Budnick. Yeah. Now, if there's any federal documents you didn't want me to have, yeah. Well, why don't you give me a copy of the dissolution?